have now filed amicus briefs in support of MRT's position. But the irony of a black elected official who for more than 3 decades represented the best interests of his black constituents, having black women voters struck from his jury pool is repugnant and morally wrong. So much for being judged by a jury of your peers. MRT's legal team argues correctly in its filing that given well-established law and legal principles set forth by the Supreme Court, Ninth Circuit, and state courts and legislatures, the Ninth Circuit should likewise reaffirm and clearly state that applying facially neutral justifications in discriminatory ways to target black women and other protected groups presumptively violates Batson. I couldn't agree more. For KBLA Talk 1580, I'm Tavis Smiley. We welcome your comments.
You ready?
It's the Queen of Royal Badness.
It's time for the Raw Report with Robin Ayers.
Highlighting people and things you should know about.
Robin's got you covered. Follow Robin at Robin Ayers. You're listening to the Raw Report on KBLA Talk 1580.
Robin's got a lot to talk about.
Evening, happy Wednesday, everybody. KBLA delegation, how y'all feeling out there? It is a beautiful, beautiful day in the Los Angeles area, and I'm just glad to be alive. It feels good. It's a good day. It's a good day to be alive. Every day is a good day to be alive, right? But I'm feeling some kind of special today. It has been a wonderful day. I've had a good time being about the business of doing good stuff. I can't really talk about all of it right now, but it's been a wonderful day, and I hope you also have had a wonderful day. As I always say, I hope you had a good time laughing with somebody. I hope you hugged somebody today. I hope you smiled at somebody today. I hope you took a few moments to think about your blessings, to really reflect on how blessed you are and how much you have to be grateful for. I also hope you had an opportunity to dance with joy. It is so important that we do that, right? So hope you all had an opportunity to dance with joy. Most of all, I hope someone told you that they love you. And just in case they did not, allow me to send you all the love your heart can hold. To those of you on your drive home, welcome to the joy of engaging conversation. To those of you who are leaving the office, those of you who've made your way home, thank you for being with us right here on the Raw Report. Again, I am Mischa Duffie, host of The Backstory, which is every Saturday from 1 to 2 p.m. But the last 3 days, I've had the pleasure of guest hosting for my friend and my colleague and your girl, Robin Ayers, right here on the Raw Report. Welcome to those of you in the chat. You all are there. Good evening. Good evening. Happy Wednesday. It's so good to see you all. Y'all are not playing. Y'all are in here tonight, and we're glad about it. In fact, I need you all in a huge way tonight because guess what? You all are my correspondent. You all are my contributor. You all are co-hosting with me today. And I'm looking forward to your comments in the chat. But also, I want to invite you to call in 1-800-920-1580. That's 1-800-920-1580. That is you, Houston, Texas. That is you, Pretty Brown Mimi. That is you, Penny Thomas. Call in to chime in on this topic we're talking about tonight. 1-800-920-1580. Here's the topic. What does legacy mean, and is legacy a thing in the world of celebrity? I want you to think about, when you think about this question, I want you to think about LeBron James and LeBron James's son, Bronny, right? So we know who LeBron James is. He's a billionaire. He's one of the number one players in the NFL, has been for many, many years. He said that NBA, what did I say? I don't know what I said. NFL, NBA. Thank you, Andy. And so he said, once upon a time, he said that his son, Bronny, was better than or just as good as anybody else in NBA. However, Bronny has made his USC debut, and it ain't going so well. And so the question is the pressure of being LeBron James' son his to own? The internet is not being so kind to Bronny right now, and people are coming down on LeBron's comments and refuting the fact that his son is in fact better than anybody else in the NBA. So I want to talk about legacy. I have some other celebrity examples to talk about, but before we get into our topic tonight, I want to talk about, of course, lift some of the trending topics in the world of black celebrity and pop culture. This one is not so much in pop culture, but this is something I am so super excited about. Fonnie Willis, the Atlanta prosecutor, y'all know her. Everybody knows her, right? She beat the disqualification efforts in the Trump RICO case. So y'all know we don't talk politics here, but tonight I have got to celebrate this sister in her huge win. Why? Because Trump and his imps have been doing everything that they can to disqualify this sister and to make her seem like she don't know what she's doing. She shouldn't be on the case. This relationship that she had is somehow compromising her ability to do her job as a phenomenal prosecutor. So I am grateful that the judge heard this case and she beat it. I had to lead with that because I'm super excited about that. And it just goes to show when you stand on what you know and you do what you do, victory can be yours. So I'm excited about that. Okay, some more trending news. A Different World cast is going on tour to 10 black colleges. Get this. The cast of A Different World is reuniting to tour historically black colleges and universities to celebrate the show's 35-year anniversary. I am so excited about that. The cast, which includes Daryl Bell, Shawnell Brown, Jasmine Guy, Kadeem Hardison, Don Lewis, Cree Summer, Glenn Turman, and Sinbad, will go on a 10-city speaking tour. The tour will feature panels and other events. It begins tomorrow in Atlanta, home to Clark Atlanta University, Morehouse College, and Spelman. More will be announced, but Washington, D.C., Montgomery, Alabama are also on the list of their stops. How exciting is that, right? That these college students will get to see the cast of A Different World right on their campus. I think this is major. I think this is amazing. Also in the news, Gabourey Sidibe, and I'm probably saying her name, screwing her name all up, but we know her as the star of Precious. She and her husband announced that they are expecting twins. Her husband is Brandon Frankel. They are expecting twins. We are happy for them, super excited about them. I love love, and so when couples are loving on each other and their relationships are flourishing and growing, that brings me a whole lot of joy. So again, that's our topic for tonight. Those are some trending topics right now happening in the world of social media and otherwise. When we come forward, we're going to get into this topic of what does legacy mean, and is legacy a thing in the world of celebrity? This is KBLA Talk 1580.
What's going on, y'all? It's your boy Lil Rel Howery. Right now, you're listening to KBLA Talk 1580. That's right, the Raw Report.
You're inside the Raw Report with Robin Ayers on KBLA Talk 1580.
Climate is king.
At KBLA Talk 1580, we believe that caring for the community means caring about the climate. You might have heard that we announced a pretty bold 12-month, $2 million campaign to do 4 things. Increase climate literacy, turn up the volume on communities of color in the climate conversation, connect everyday people with the resources they need to survive and thrive, and highlight frontline climate justice crusaders of color throughout this year. KBLA Talk 1580 will be bringing you insightful interviews on all of our shows to help raise your climate IQ. Each quarter this year, we will also be hosting free climate events in various communities throughout the city with food, fun, and forward-thinking conversations. Thanks to partners like LADWP, Metro, Caltrans, the Sierra Club, the California Community Foundation, the California Endowment, AQMD, MWD, and more. You'll also be hearing more about a couple of national town halls broadcasting live from Los Angeles, to which you will be invited. And we'll be rolling out a robust social media campaign on all our platforms, as well as an outdoor media campaign, all designed to educate, enlighten, and empower you in our fight for climate justice.
We want cleaner air.
Caring about the community means caring about the climate. At KBLA Talk 1580, we believe that we really can change the world if we care enough.
Psst. Hey, I have a secret. I use Secret Whole Body Deodorant because more than just my armpits stink.
Oh, can I use it where my bra rubs under my...
Oh, yeah.
And what about down there? You know, my...
Totally. 4 out of 5 gynecologists would recommend it. So I tried it, and now I get 72 hours of freshness from my pits to my...
Ooh, I love that it's a spray.
Me too. And it comes in sticks and creams too. Go get your Secret Whole Body Deodorant.
Did you know one of the best investments you can make? It's in yourself. At My Computer Career, in just a few months, you can start your new career in the high-demand, recession-resistant field of information technology. Isn't it time you invest in you and start a career in networking, cybersecurity, AI, or upskill to boost your current IT career? So get the ROI you deserve at My Computer Career. No experience necessary. Start now at mycomputercareer.edu.
Financial aid is available for qualified students, including the GIL.
Climate justice,
Climate equity,
climate resilience. By any other name, we demand environmental justice in 2024
and beyond.
We're KBLA Talk 1580, and we don't black down.
It's game day at Jim's house, and the spread is impressive.
Mike's already done some damage with the hot wings, and now he's dropping back and going deep for another slice of pizza.
I sure hope he brought the Pepto.
Mike knows that Pepto-Bismol provides fast 5-symptom relief from unexpected stomach upsets. He's no rookie.
The way he's throwing back those nachos, he's the GOAT.
Be ready for game day with Pepto-Bismol.
When you have nausea, heartburn, indigestion, upset stomach, diarrhea.
Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Giving you your daily dose of entertainment and celebrity news.
You're inside the Rob Report.
With Robin Ayers on KBLA Talk 1580.
Indeed you are, and welcome inside the Rob Report with Mischa Duffie. Robin will be back in her seat tomorrow. I know you all can't wait for her to return. It's been my pleasure to sit in and fill in for her. Again, good evening to those of you in the chat. Welcome to the Rob Report. We appreciate you. And to those of you who are listening to us on in your cars, in your home, at your job, wherever you may be, thank you. On the app as well, that's right. And for those who are listening maybe in your car, you haven't downloaded the app, let me take this opportunity to also encourage you to download the app. Tell a friend to download the app. We have really been doing well with our downloads, and so we thank you all for that. So, as I was saying, our topic for tonight is legacy. And what does legacy mean? And is legacy a thing in the world of celebrity? So I want to start off with this. Maya Angelou lifts two... I like these quotes from Maya Angelou, something to think about. Chew on this. She says, you have no idea what your legacy will be because your legacy is every life you touch. She had shared that comment with Oprah one time when Oprah was asking her about her legacy, and Oprah was saying to her that she felt her school, her new school in South Africa, was going to be her legacy. And Maya Angelou said to Oprah, you have no idea what your legacy is going to be because your legacy is every life you touch. If another quote Maya Angelou offers is, if you're going to live, leave a legacy, make a mark on the world that cannot be erased, right? So even as we're having this conversation, I want you all to think about your own definition of legacy, your own thoughts about what legacy are. Chime in the comments. Again, you're welcome to call in 1-800-920-1580. We're talking about legacy. And again, focusing more intentionally on LeBron James and his son. There's this conversation happening in the world of social media regarding Bronny and how good he is or how good he's not, and his father's comments and how his father kind of lifted him perhaps maybe more than he should have. Wondering how y'all feel about that, what your thoughts are. Do you feel like his dad pumped him up too much? Do you feel like he's just not that good? Does he still have time to get there, right? Does he still have time to grow? He's a young man. He, of course, is not who his daddy was at his age, but that's okay. He still has time to get there. Or is it okay, right? Is the pressure to step into his daddy's shoes messing with him? Andy, what are your thoughts? You know, I want to know. I want to know what you think.
I don't think the pressure's getting to him.
Huh?
I don't think the pressure's getting to him at all.
Okay. So do you think he's just not as good? What do you think
He's
is
just
happening?
not that good.
Ah.
I mean, he's good.
Okay.
He's just not as good as his father is.
And do you think his father oversold him?
No.
In terms of saying that
No.
he was so good?
No, not at all. I mean, he's doing what a parent would do.
Ah.
You know what I mean? Like I don't know if you guys remember LeVar Ball, the way he used to talk about his kids,
That's
know,
true.
to the point where, it was annoying folks.
Yeah.
But, this was a father who was in his kids' lives, and they're all successful now.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So, with Bronny, he was kind of born into the mix. So I think he's seen, obviously, his dad since birth, handle pressure. So I think it's natural for him. I mean, one of the most amazing things for me that I like in Bronny is his poise. He seems ready for it. Skill-wise, he's probably just not to the level of where his pops is, but he's at USC. He had his little heart condition or whatnot. I don't know if he's still on this minute restriction from playing or whatnot, but this is his freshman year, so he definitely has. If he wanted to go ahead and do the whole 4 years, he has 3 more years under his belt to improve his game. So,
and here's a question about the heart piece, because I didn't even think about this till you just said it. Andy, do you think to some extent, I don't know how this may be impacting his play, but I would imagine if I had a scare like that it may make me a little hesitant or
100%,
tentative, right?
100%,
To really go hard.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But, even in this short time of him playing so far this season, I've seen some highlights or whatnot. It doesn't look like he's being hesitant in his game. I just think it's just a matter of, just having precautions, not pushing him too hard physically, and he'll get there. He'll get there.
Got you. I like what you also said, Andy. I didn't think about it from this perspective, that parents are supposed to, or LeBron did what parents do. He just affirmed his son. He 100%. Promoted his son. He was lifting his son up, and you're right. That's exactly what parents do. And as a parent of 2 sons, I've done it myself, right? I think the world of my sons, and I want the world to think the world of my sons. So I totally get that. Moving on to Mariah Carey's daughter. She's in a viral video singing One Sweet Day. Again, is this the sense of, is there some pressure to follow in mom's footsteps, or is this a natural thing? Beyonce's daughter, right? Blue. Beyonce, we just saw her daughter on tour with her, doing her thing. Does she move like her mom? Of course she doesn't, because she's still a little girl. She's still developing. She's still evolving. But do we say that just these young people's presence is a part of their parents' legacy? The fact that they are stepping up at all is a part of their parents' legacy, or are they just standing on their own, right? I also think Martin Luther King's sons, right? Martin Luther King is still a huge deal all of these years later. And I know I've been in settings where the question has been asked, how come his sons aren't more like him? How come they aren't as vocal as he was, right? How come they aren't as famous as he was? But here's what I also say about that. We all have our own anointing. We all have our own juice, if you will. We all have our own oil. And when I think about those kind of conversations, I think about the fact that we're unique and we're individuals and we're exceptional in our own way. And so even when you come from what they call good stock or great stock or cream of the crop, it doesn't necessarily mean all the time that you will be who your parents were. And so that's that. But my other question is, does how well or not so well a child does diminish the parent's image or brand when their child follows in their footsteps? Don't think so?
I'm going to go ahead and say no.
Okay.
Not at all. I mean, you know, you have situations too where the kid is more popular than the parent, right? I look at somebody like Patrick Mahomes. His father played baseball, Major League Baseball, whatnot. I'm not a big baseball fan, so I really don't know what his celebrity was like at the time. But, you know, knowing a little bit of sports, I didn't really hear his name too much. But look at his son now. You know what I mean? So in some ways, it's kind of like the reverse. You know, it helps the father's legacy to a degree, even though the father wasn't the most popular one.
That's an excellent point, and it brings me to this example. Zoe Kravitz is the daughter of Lenny Kravitz and the granddaughter of Roxy Rocker, who was an actress best known for her role on The Jeffersons. She was Helen Willis. Both of her parents are stars and have done well, but she's also done well, right? And to your point, her doing well, I guess, adds to the joy of their career. I'm sure it makes them feel good when people give them props for who their daughter is and the job that she's doing. So I get your point that it can go one way or the other. In the chat, Terry says Bronny had a major heart attack, and so I guess that's to go along with this idea that he may be slowing down because he had a heart attack. Penny Thompson said, show Bronny some grace. Absolutely. There's always, as Tavis Smiley says around here, save space for grace. And then Terry also said, those people who disrespect Bronny, I just ignore them totally. I can easily, heart attack, someone else says, can easily lead to death, even for basketball superstars. I work in healthcare and I respect Bronny. Again, thank you all for chiming in. I really, really appreciate your comments. Talk to me more about, what was this? Kobe Bryant was more famous than
his dad.
Jelly Bean Bryant. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. There you go. I want y'all to talk to me a little bit more about legacy, about your thoughts on legacy as we continue in our conversation around legacy. It was one more story that I wanted to lift around this legacy piece before I have to go to break. The Jackson Fives. So, tall order, Andy, tall order, because they were everything in their prime, and then they had children. Are their children doing as well as they did? No. Is there an expectation that they should be? Perhaps. But go ahead, Andy.
I was going to say the difference with the Jackson kids, and, you know, I really don't know. I just feel like the kids aren't being pushed by the brothers, by the Jackson brothers, if that makes sense, right? Okay. So when we talk about Michael Jackson, Jermaine Tito, and all of them, you look at their father, Joe Jackson, was pushing them. I don't really see that from Jermaine or anybody. Like, I don't see them pushing their kids to follow in that legacy. Maybe because Joe was so tough.
And
you know what I mean?
They just didn't have the best time, because I went to see the Michael Jackson play down at the Pantages, and it showed you, pieces of how hard their father was on them. Absolutely. And how he would even put his hands on them. And so to that point, do you want to encourage your kids to have the kind of experience potentially that you had? And let's talk about also how they missed out on a lot of growing up. Their youth was really stolen from them in many respects, because it was all about work, grind. And do I want to pass that on?
I think there's just a way to do it. Yeah. You know what I mean? You have to you gotta at least allow the kid to maybe figure out what the kid wants to do, right?
Yeah.
And then whatever the kid wants to do, push that. If you want to push sports, if you want to push, the family business, I say introduce it to him.
Yeah.
Or her, but don't force it.
Right.
And see where the kid, decides to go.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I tell you, another family, when we come forward, there's another family that I want to lift who I believe the branding, imaging, legacy of it all has been amazing from one generation to the next generation to the next generation. And they are leaving a legacy of excellence and Black splendor behind every generation. This is the Rob Report right here on KBLA Talk 1580. Here's your news and traffic.
Yo, what's going on? It's your boy Eric Bellinger hanging out right here with my family at the Rob Report. Keep it locked.
More of the Rob Report with Robin Ayers when we come forward.
I'm Amber Payton. Here's the latest on the Black Information Network. San Francisco is apologizing to the city's Black population for years of discrimination. The Board of Supervisors voted for a resolution apologizing to all African Americans and their descendants who came to San Francisco and were victims of systemic and structural discrimination, institutional racism, targeted acts of violence, and atrocities. The apology is just one of more than 100 recommendations from a reparations advisory committee. A group of Nashville, Tennessee runners is honoring the life of Ahmaud Arbery. He is the young black man who was chased down by vehicles and shot to death by 3 white men in 2020 while jogging in a southeastern Georgia neighborhood. Members of Black Men Run Nashville went out to run in Arbery's memory, going 2.3 miles to mark the date he was killed. The men who killed Arbery have since been convicted on murder and hate crime counts. That's the latest. I'm Amber Payton on your home for 24/7 News, the Black Information Network.
Traffic remains busy and heavy on the 91 East in Anaheim between Highways 57 and Gibson Canyon Road for over 55 minutes. Orange is 55 South before 22 Garden Grove Freeway has an accident which is blocking 2 right lanes with fire crews on scene and a heavy backup coming from Catella Avenue. Expect a 35-minute traffic jam as you make your way through Irvine's 5 North between Culver and Ball Road. Back in Santa Monica, heavy traffic continues over 2 hours now, running stops on the 10 East between 20th Street and the 5-101 interchange.
Right now, there are young people across the world facing a tough choice. Continue their dream of education or drop out to help their family put food on the table. You can help change their future in a single moment. See how far your support can go at unbound.org.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
Today's Black History Month sports moment. April 15th, 1947 is one of the most important dates in American history. On that day, Jackie Robinson made his debut with the Brooklyn Dodgers, a debut that changed the foundation of Major League Baseball. The Pasadena native was in the lineup to play first base, making him the first black player to play in the major leagues. Several team owners tried to get Brooklyn owner Branch Rickey thrown out of baseball for signing Robinson. Rickey stood by his decision and stood by Robinson. Jackie was National League Rookie of the Year in 1947. He was MVP in 1949 and helped the Dodgers win the World Series in 1955. Today, no Major League player wears the number 42, the number Jackie wore throughout his history-making career. The one exception is on April 15th, when every Major League player wears his number as the ultimate tribute. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson on KBLA Talk 1580.
Without the ones like you, who work tirelessly to keep things running, everything would suddenly stop. Hospitals, factories, schools, and power plants, they all depend on you. No matter the weather, emergency, or time of day, you're the ones who get it done. At Grainger, we're here for you with professional-grade industrial supplies. Count on real-time product availability and fast delivery. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Hey Californians, are you ready to make your home ownership dreams come true? The California Dream for All Shared Appreciation Loan Program might be for you. First-generation homebuyers can get down payment and closing cost assistance along with a first mortgage to help you unlock the door of your new home. Applications open in April, so talk to an approved lender to see if you're eligible. Find out more at calhfa.ca.gov/dream or call 877-922-5432. A message from the California Housing Finance Agency.
KBLA Talk 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. Legal Aid Foundation of Los Angeles is a nonprofit law firm that protects and advances the rights of the most underserved, leveling the playing field and ensuring that everyone can have access to the justice system. Every year, LAFLA provides free, high-quality legal services to more than 100,000 people living in poverty across greater Los Angeles. Their unique combination of neighborhood offices, self-help centers at courthouses, and domestic violence clinics puts Legal Aid Foundation of Los Angeles on the front lines in vulnerable communities and at the forefront of change. LAFLA's expert team of attorneys, paralegals, and support staff works to provide direct representation, offer counsel and advice, provide referrals, and educate the community about their legal rights through workshops and seminars. With locations all over LA, you can access their services or volunteer to help no matter where you live. And if you have an urgent issue, call 213-235-0060. That's 213-235-0060. To get legal help, make a donation, or volunteer, visit lafla.org. lafla.org. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Keeping you informed about what's really going on.
Who's got next?
And what not to miss in entertainment. You're listening to The Rob Report on KBLA Talk 1580.
Daddy, what's a will?
Yeah. Take those monies and spread across families. My sister Hattie and Lou, the nephews, cousins, and TT. Eric, the rest of B for whatever she wants to do. She might start an institute, she might put poor kids in school. My stake in Rock Nation should go to you. Leave a piece for your siblings to give to their children too. Titled is Champagne. Do say I like to see a nice piece.
That's a great insertion to support our conversation. Coming from somebody who is doing it, right? Jay-Z is not playing about legacy. He is not playing about generational wealth. He is not playing about lifting his daughter in particular right now, True, into a place where she understands the industry. People know who she is, but you also know this man don't play about his kids. I love that he took her up on the stage with him most recently for the Grammys, and I love that he just had her standing there as his beautiful child, not to say anything in particular, but just so that she knows she's important. And that's what that said to me. Like, baby girl, I want you to go up here with me because I want you to know that you are important to me, right? And so when we talk about this topic of legacy, again, Maya Angelou says, you have no idea what your legacy will be because your legacy is every life that you touch. And she says, if you're going to live, make a mark on the world that cannot be erased, right? That cannot be erased. And we were talking about from a pop culture celebrity perspective, is there pressure on children of high-powered celebrities to step into their parents' shoes? And if in fact they do and they don't do well, is the parents' image or brand diminished because their children didn't do well? Is there pressure on the child who does seek to follow in their parents' footsteps? And I named the Jackson 5s. We were talking about LeBron and his son Bronny. I also talked about Zoe Kravitz and Lenny Kravitz and Lisa Bonet, their daughter, who is following in her parents' footsteps. And Right before the break, we were talking about the Jackson 5, right? And the fact Andy brought up that they have not pushed their children into the limelight, into singing, perhaps because of what they went through as children in that industry. And I was also saying that when we came forward, I wanted to share a family that I believe has done it well. Actually, I want to share two families, but one in particular first is the Winans family. I believe the Winans family has done a heck of a job, generation after generation after generation, from Mom and Pop Winans to Cece and her brother BB Winans to the Winan brothers, and now their children. They have done a phenomenal job of carrying their message of redemption, of a love for God, for Jesus forward. And not that, again, anybody is perfect, but I think that they have really done a great job with legacy and just, again, remembering who they are. I mean, everybody in that family can sing. It seems like there's not a soul in the Winans family who cannot sing, and so I appreciate them. Who is this? Lavelle mentioned the Winans, the other Winans, the Wayans. How you say it, Andy? The Wayans, right? They have a legacy of actors in their families, and so their children, that's right, have followed in the older Wayans' footsteps. That's exactly right. In fact, I watched the movie on Netflix with one of the sons. I can't remember the name of the movie, but I watched it the other day. Where one of the sons starred in. Go ahead, Andy.
With these examples, it just sounds like, when it comes to, offspring or, brothers, cousins, sisters or whatnot, either they have it or they don't. You know what I'm saying? I think automatically there's always going to be like this pressure, so to speak, because shout out to Penny Thompson. She said that you don't have to be rich to leave a legacy, right?
Amen.
So,
that's right.
The average Joe, for example, when they go ahead and they try to look for a job or whatnot and they fill out an application, there's always that question about, do you have any family members or, any siblings that's worked with this organization or whatnot? People want to know because, if you've been in this, your prospect just seems to shine bright a little bit more. You know what I mean?
Sure.
It's either you have it or you don't.
I think that is an excellent point, Andy. I think that's an excellent point. And along with your point, Penny Thompson says in the chat, everyone has an opportunity to leave a legacy. Being a positive influence in the life of others helps to make this world a better place to live. Positivity, pay it forward. That echoes Maya Angelou's quote, to make a mark on the world that cannot be erased. I could not agree more with you. I appreciate, again, just the correspondence and the participation in the chat, because it is a joint conversation with all of us tonight. Thank you for that. And again, I hope we're thinking about what legacy means to us, and whether it's every life we touch or how we show up in the world every single day. Think about what you want to be known for when you leave here, because to me, that's what legacy is, right? Who do I want people to remember me as when I am gone? I think the fact that we have a Martin Luther King Boulevard in almost every major city says a lot. Inner city. You're absolutely right. Thanks for the correction.
Gotta be specific.
Says a whole lot about the legacy and the life and the imprint that Dr. King left behind. And the fact that we have Martin Luther King Day says a lot about the legacy that he left behind. So again, who do you want to be known as when you leave here? And to that extent, are you showing up as that person every day? Not all the time. Again, nobody's perfect. But by and large, are you showing up as that person? Speaking of which, Nicole Avant, I think, is another person who's doing a great job exemplifying legacy. Nicole Avant is the daughter of Clarence and Jacqueline Avant. Clarence Avant is the young man that the Black Godfather documentary was made of, telling his life story. His daughter produced that piece. And Jacqueline Avant was just a classy, beautiful, poised woman who did a lot in community, just had a reputation for making the world a better place for all that she was involved in. I had the good fortune of attending a conversation with Nicole Avant and Jimmy Jam last night at the Grammy Museum. And the conversation was based on Nicole's new book, Think You'll Be Happy. And Think You'll Be Happy were the last words that Jacqueline Avant said text to her daughter before she was killed on December the 1st of 2022. If you all will remember, sadly, someone broke into their home and shot 81-year-old Jacqueline Avant, and she passed away at the hospital. But her daughter wrote a book about grace, grit, and gratitude in grieving. So as she's grieving the loss of her mother, she writes this book about how we need to focus on a legacy of service and love and community and family, which is what her parents exemplified. But for her, her godfather is Lord Mischa. I knew I was going to get stuck on Quincy Jones. Her godfather is Quincy Jones. And she talks about how all throughout her life, these famous people were at her home, but she didn't necessarily know they were famous, from Bill Withers to Sidney Poitier to Diana Carroll. She talks about how Diana Carroll was her mother's best friend. And so these people were just there. Every time she came down the steps or came home from school, the house was filled with like 30, 40 people. And as Oprah said, when Oprah interviewed her, like, she is really Black excellence, right? She is what we ascribe to royalty and Blackness. And so it was just beautiful to hear her talk about her family. If you have not, please pick up her book. It's amazing because she talks to us about how to get through grief, but she talks about it to us through the lens of her mother's legacy and all that her mother and her father told her. Her father died after she wrote the book, or as she was writing the book. So there's that. When we come forward, more on our conversation about legacy. And as Terry says, legacy is important, so we're talking about it. Penny Thompson says legacy is service to others. This is KBLA Talk 1580.
Hey, I'm Damian Young. I'm chilling with Robin on the Raw Report.
You're inside the Raw Report with Robin Ayers on KBLA Talk 1580.
Do you support public education? More than 38,000 educators at United Teachers Los Angeles do too. Together, we have fought for a better public education for our students and communities, and having you on our side has been essential in our fight for better public schools. Together, we will continue to work for public schools with green spaces, more mental health staff, smaller class sizes at every grade level, and a higher investment in the Black Student Achievement Plan. We are UTLA, and you make us stronger. City of Los Angeles tenants know these facts about eviction and consumer debt. Tenants can't be evicted if rental arrears are eligible to be treated as consumer debt. Tenants who followed certain COVID-19 pandemic protections under state law can't be evicted for past due rent. Landlords can collect rental arrears in court as consumer debt, but tenants cannot be evicted if they provided a declaration of COVID-19 hardship and paid 25% of rent owed. Learn more at housing.lacity.org. Be informed, be protected, be at home.
LADWP is proud to partner with KBLA to share with you how to start the new year without bill worries. We're here to help if you're behind on your bill or need help staying current. Sign up anytime online for Level Pay to set predictable monthly payments throughout the year, including for past due amounts. You can also check out the special extended pay arrangements of up to 48 months to help pay down your bill. If you're a senior or income qualified, you may be eligible for Easy Save to receive discounts and also qualify for free and discounted energy and water saving devices. You can get up to $15,000 for past due water and or sewer bills and up to $3,000 for electric bills. But you gotta act fast. Funding is limited. You can reduce your past due bills and kick off the year right, because here at LADWP, we're here to help. Visit ladwp.com/cares today and find out more.
THE Health and Wellness Centers, celebrating 50 years since 1974 when it started as THE Clinic for Women. Then, THE Clinic for Women became THE Health and Wellness Centers, providing quality care for everyone. Learn more at tohelpeveryone.org.
If we're the ones disproportionately impacted by these climate catastrophes,
Why should we be silent?
turning up the volume all year long on the climate conversation for KBLA Talk 1580.
Substance use disorder and addiction is so isolating. And so, as a Black woman in recovery, hope must be loud. It grows louder when you ask for help and you're vulnerable. It is the thread that lets you know that no matter what happens, you will be okay.
When we learn the power of hope, recovery is possible. Find out how at startwithhope.com. Brought to you by the National Council for Mental Wellbeing, Shatterproof, and the Ad Council.
Giving you your daily dose of entertainment and celebrity news.
You're inside the Rob Report.
With Robin Ayers on KBLA Talk 1580.
And we are absolutely glad you are here. Before we move the conversation forward, let me share with you that KBLA Talk 1580 has released groundbreaking results from a survey about environmental issues and the impacts of pollution and climate change on our community. The poll provides unique insights into Black voter sentiment and preferences on key environmental and social justice issues. The results highlight that there is a direct connection between environmental justice, social justice, and civil rights. Equally important, respondents overwhelmingly believe that pollution, climate change, and other forms of environmental harm impact Black, Latino, and low-income communities more than white, Asian, wealthy, and coastal communities. To learn more about this new survey and our historic year-long climate justice campaign, go right now to our website, KBLA1580.com. At KBLA Talk 1580. We care about the community, we care about the climate, and we care about keeping you informed. That said, we're continuing our conversation tonight about legacy. I appreciate you all so much being my co-host tonight, being my contributors tonight. You all are not playing in the chat. Okay, so where am I going? Penny Thompson says, legacy is priceless and should always be remembered. Terry says, Leroy Sound is an award-winning author of Black books and plays. Penny Thompson, the mayor of Los Angeles, is leaving her legacy by helping with the homeless and getting them off the streets into shelters. She has committed to making a difference, and she's doing just that. I could not agree more. Houston, Texas, we also applaud those who break negative legacies and grow positive legacies. I love that. That is so absolutely wonderful and true and beautiful. And we do applaud those who break negative legacies, because you know what? At the end of the day, it really is about keeping it all positive, vibrating higher, tapping into the highest vibration of who you can be as a world-class human being. And when we do that, we become a great example for other people to follow. We leave an imprint that even when we're gone, people still remember. On the phone right now is Mr. JW from South Central. Welcome into the Rob Report, my friend.
Hey, how you doing? Once again, it's JW in the house, and, you know, legacy is vitally important because it's part of the will of God.
Yeah.
As it's connected to your purpose. And your purpose has to be a part of his purpose, and once you unite your purpose with his purpose and they are correlated together, then you serving the purpose why you was born and birthed into this world and breathing this air, because you are being the eyes, the ears, the hands, and the feet, and the tools of our Creator, the grand architect. This is what Jesus was referred to in reference to being the body of Christ. He washed the feet of the disciples. Now, what that should teach everyone is that he stepped out of glory, became something less than what he was, even though he still stayed what he was. I'm not going to go into detail about that. You should get that when I said it. But the point is, you became a human being, washed the disciples' feet, just to make the point that service is the most important and valuable thing that a human being, that's a separate human and being, a human being can do on earth is to serve one another. not only just the body of Christ, but humanity.
Mm-hmm.
Because these corporations and governments do not value our real, true worth.
Yeah, yeah.
And so if you can tie your passion, which can be somewhat different, but yet one and the same with your purpose, if you can tie that together, then you're actually serving God's will.
Amen.
And you're enjoying it because it's your passion.
Wonderful.
And it comes naturally, and it don't have to be necessarily taught, groomed, trained,
Mr. JW,
or whatever.
Thank you so much for calling in. We appreciate you. Thank you so much. He is so right. And thank you for listening. Again, thank you for calling in. I, again, want to appreciate you all so much for your comments and for your for you calling in. This conversation about legacy is fascinating to me, to the extent that we all get to leave one. You know, somebody said a moment ago that you don't have to be famous to leave a legacy. You really, really don't. I mean, think about it. Think about Big Mama, right? Think about the conversations that were had on the front steps, right? Think about our great-grandmothers and just the little things that they used to tell us and teach us, and how that stuff is still such a part of our psyche. You know, you think about the person who babysat you. Even last night in the conversation with Nicole Avon, she was saying that one of the persons who's left one of the biggest imprints on her life was the janitor at her elementary school. And she just talked about how every morning when she came into school, when they all came into school, he smiled at them. He asked them how they were doing. He told them to have a great day. And he also made sure that they did the right thing during the course of the day. That was, as she said, at least 50 years ago. And she was sitting in the Grammy Museum talking about him last night. That's legacy. Why? Because he impacted her in such a way that she remembers him all of these years later. To me, that's the epitome of legacy. So it's not that you have to have $1 million. It's not that you have to have 10 million followers on any of the platforms. It's not that you have to be the loudest voice in the world. It's how you treat people on an everyday basis. And I think we are forgetting it. I think that's getting lost in the sauce of fame and celebrity. And I think everybody wants to be important so bad that people are forgetting that just saying hello matters. Just walking past them, you see an older person standing on a corner, just asking them, do they need some help across the street? That's valuable, right? You walking out the store, holding the door open for somebody. You got somebody live next door to you haven't seen in a few days, knocking on the door to ask if they are okay. That is legacy. That matters. But you know what else is legacy? And I cannot end this show without bringing this person forward. Dominique DePrima, who is the host of First Things First right here on KBLA Talk 1580. She is also the first Black woman to host her own show on the Morning Drive here in Los Angeles. And she is a beacon of light right here in Los Angeles, California. She's a hugely well-known activist right here in California. But you know what else she is? She is the proud daughter of two wonderful people who did amazing things in the world. Her mom, Diane DePrima, was a poet. Again, she left an indelible mark on literature and culture. Her dad was Amari Baraka, a renowned poet and playwright, considered to have been a key figure in the Black arts movement. Talk about legacy. Talk about how proud her parents must be to look down from heaven or wherever they are, right? Even as they live inside of her, to see what their daughter is doing and who she has become and how she has taken their names forward. And when people see her, they remember who she came from. Again, that is legacy. Right here in our station, we got legacy going on. Out there in our chat, we got legacy going on. Looking right in front of me, I got legacy going on as I look at Andy and the amazing job he does here just helping us to get these stories out to you every single night. We all get to put our legacy in the world by how we live, what we do, the choices we make, how we treat people. And again, I'm honored and grateful for the opportunity to do what I do, to sit in here tonight for Robin and to talk with all of you. Let me see if I have any other comments I need to. Yes, Penny Thompson says self-sacrifice to serving others is not easy, but it is absolutely a blessing. Could not have said that better. And here's the thing. Legacy is about sacrifice. It is about sometimes doing what you don't feel like you want to do, even though you said you would do it, right? All right, so we're wrapping up tonight. It's been a pleasure to be with you the last 3 days. Up next is Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams. Until I talk to you again, stay grateful, stay safe, stay kind, stay inspired. Robin will be back with you tomorrow. This is KBLA Talk 1580.